They say the mist of Mirewood never speaks, but one night it whispered a name, not of kings, not of warriors. It whispered Erin, a girl no one remembered, and in that moment the forest began to wake. Every legend begins with a warning, and this one began when the sky forgot how to shine. Mirewood had always lived beneath a veil of silver fog. The elders called it the Whispering Veil, a living barrier that kept chaos locked beyond the trees. But tonight, the mist trembled. The whispers grew louder, not prayers, but screams. And while the rest of Ravenfall slept, Erin, the quiet scribe, sat alone, ink drying on forgotten scrolls. She heard the veil breathe, and with that breath came a whisper that would burn itself into her soul. Find the lantern of dawn before the world unravels. No one had stepped beyond the veil in generations, but Erin wasn't brave. She was desperate. She followed the whisper, through air thick as water, through trees that wept light. The forest was alive. It watched. It remembered, and it did not forgive. The mist clawed at her skin with voices of doubt. You are too small. You are too late. Yet, the broken lantern in his hand flickered, as if it disagreed. The forest tested her. The thorns of regret grew from the ground, whispering every failure she'd ever buried. She saw his mother's face fade into mist, her voice saying, "Let go, Erin," but she didn't. The lantern blazed, not from magic, but from will, and in that light, the forest revealed its heart. A crystal seed floating above a still pond, the dying soul of the veil itself. When she reached for it, the water turned to glass. The reflection showed two worlds, one dying, one waiting to be reborn. From the torn sky stepped the warden of the wilds, once the veil's protector, now its curse. Roots twisted around bone, and in its voice, the rage of centuries screamed. You would steal what belongs to the storm? Rin stood trembling, but she raised the lantern, and for the first time, the mist hesitated. I came to remember, she whispered, not to rule. The warden froze, and as the light met the darkness, both began to fade, not in battle, but in peace. When Rin returned, the forest had changed. The mist no longer whispered in fear. It sang. The lantern of dawn burned softly at the heart of Mirewood, and every leaf shimmered with reborn light. No one remembered the boy who saved them, but sometimes, when the wind carries a faint whisper through the trees, they say you can still hear her voice. Even a spark can teach the sun to rise again.